Okay, so here we are with chapter 5, section 6. Again, St. James heading. Then you write chapter 5, section 6. And underneath that, you write percent and estimation. Okay, so here we're going to take that mental math that we did. You're going to need that list of percent and fraction equivalents here to do an estimation. What we're looking for is you're not going to get an exact answer. So what happens is when an exact answer is not needed, meaning it's not, you don't have to have a perfect answer. We're just looking for a ballpark. We're looking for an estimation. You can estimate a percent of a number by using compatible numbers. Okay, well, what's a compatible number? Well, compatible numbers are two numbers that are easy to divide mentally. Because again, I'm looking for a ballpark answer. When I go to a store, a clothing store on Black Friday and I go shopping, I don't need to know exactly how much something's going to cost. I just need a ballpark so I know, okay, is this really a good deal or not? Is this going to break my budget? Is this going to break my bank or not? So I just need an estimate, a ballpark, just to give me an idea. So let's estimate. Let's practice. Okay, 19% of 30. I don't know the fraction for 19%. Okay, I'm just going to tell you, I don't know what the fraction is for exactly 19. But I do know that 19 is close enough to 20%. So I'm going to pick a percent that's closest, so 20%, and then go from there. What's nice and convenient is 20% of 30 is easier to do mentally. 20%, that fraction, if you look on that list that we had from the last section in your notes, I said you were going to need them. It's 1/5. So 1/5 of, multiply, 30. Okay, put that over 1, cancel, cancel. Basically, 6. So what is 19% of 30? Well, it's probably going to be pretty close to 6. Okay, so if you have something like that's, first of all, this is never going to be in a store, 19%. Other percents will be, but if something is 19% off, or a lot of times they'll say, oh, you get 19% more in this packaging. Well, really, that's 6. Okay, so is that really a good deal or a good bargain? It depends. Okay, so it's approximately, and again, use a little wave to mean approximate. It's approximately going to be 6. Okay, 25% of 41. Well, we know 25% is 1 over 4, but 41, that's not easy to do mentally. So if I just say of 40, that's really close. Okay, if I use 40 instead, okay, makes my life a lot easier. Put it over 1, cancel, cancel, okay, and you get 10. So 25% of 41 is going to be approximately 10. Okay, is it perfect? No. Again, I'm looking for a ballpark. This is for when I don't need an exact answer. Estimate means it's not going to be exact. Okay, 65% of 76. Okay, I don't know what the fraction is for 65%, but if I look on my list of fractions, I'm going to look and see, okay, what fraction percent do I have an equivalent for? Well, I have one actually for 66 and 2/3. That's pretty close. So if I do that of 76, well, 76, um, the math on that's going to be a little tricky. So we could say 75. Move it over 1 because I know I'm being smart and I know that this 66 and 2/3, the fraction for that, excuse me, is is 2/3. Oh, good. There it is. Sorry, I lost my list here for a minute. Okay, and then you times it by 75, over 1. Okay, so that's pretty sweet. Okay, and let's do the math. 2/3 of 75. Well, cancel this out, you get 1. You cancel this out, you get 15. So approximately, you get approximately 30. Okay, I'm just checking my math here because, is that right? No, 75 into 3 is not 15. See, this is what happens when sister has a brain freeze. Okay, 75, 3 into 75. Okay, Sister Karen was just having a moment. Okay, it's 25. Ooh, there we go. Let's try that again. 25. Something didn't look right. And then 25 times 2 is 50. Much better. Okay, 50. So again, is it perfect? No. So 65% of 76 is approximately 50. Okay, again, I'm not looking for an exact answer. I'm looking for an approximate. And when you have a moment, like I did, you just take a minute there and figure out what you did wrong. Now, let's say we estimate each percent. Okay, so again, I'm looking for the percent. Before I was given the percent, like up here, they gave me the percent. Now I need to find it, but I want to estimate it, okay? So I have 8 out of 25, so I'll write it as a fraction, okay? All right, well, what's really cool is if you look at this as 8 over 24, that simplifies to 1/3, which is, as a percent on that list, 33 and 1/3%. Done. Okay, so here we don't have to do is over of percent over 100. We just simplify the fraction and solve. Because again, we're not looking for exact. So approximately, this is going to be 33 and 1/3%. And again, we see this on packaging all the time. You know, the packages increase 33 and 1/3%. You see that a lot with like bags of cough drops. This extra value bag is 33% more, you know. Well, it's really 8 out of 25, you know, approximately. Is that really isn't the bang for your buck? I don't know. Well, let's see. Let's try this one. 14 over 25. Okay. And here I'm trying to be smart. What should I do to try and make my life easier? Well, here I could do 15 out of 25 because that simplifies better. So I'm changing it or adjusting it. I won't say equal, but I'm adjusting it to 15 over 25 because that simplifies easier. That simplifies to 3 over 5. Well, again, if I look at that list from last section in my notes, the 3 over 5 is 60%. Okay, done, 60%. Okay, that's a lot easier than only when we're estimating. You can't do this every time, but when I say estimate, so feel free to estimate, 60%. Okay, 14 out of 25 is about 60%. And again, all these fractions and percent equivalencies are on my wall in my classroom. Okay, let's try one more. All right, 89 out of 121. Okay, again, I want to be smart in how I adjust this. Let's see. Okay, and I use my list of percents and fractions to try to say, okay, how can I make this fraction here, 89 over 121, simplify into a fraction that I have an equivalent for? Okay, well, I would change 89 to 90 and then 121 to 120. That would make my life a lot easier. Cancel out the zeros, and I get 9 over 12, simplifies to 3 over 4. Ta-da! Much easier. 3 over 4 is 75%. Done. Okay? A lot easier to work with. So this 89 out of 120 is about approximately estimating 75%. Is it perfect? No, not perfect, but it's okay. So here's the problem for next class. Again, you're going to want to get that list from the other video if you didn't write it down, even though I said write it down. You're going to want to go get that list from the other video, and then here's your problem. Excuse me. The problem is 29% of 50. Okay, again, you're estimating. I am not looking for exact. If you give me an exact answer, that means you used your calculator or something else. And this is just to practice helping you estimate, kind of making you a faster math student when it comes to maybe standardized tests that have multiple choice. You probably estimate an answer faster than you could solve for one. Okay, so here we are, 29% of 50. I will see you next class.